Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Lee, man,
Yes, sir.
we're back with another magnificent podcast.
We are.
Co-host Braxton here, your host Leah Williams.
Oh, you so wild, man. You're wild.
Today, man, I think this will be an interesting one because I kind of want to know what, we're talking about triggers.
Yeah.
So anything dealing with just like that takes you from 1 to 10 with skipping all the other numbers.
1 to 1,000. I don't know.
Like triggers and how triggers can be a platform for you to these moments to get into your spirit in a way. That's kind of where I want to go with it on triggers. So do
when
you
say
have
get
one?
into your spirit, that makes me feel that it needs to be positive. So
Absolutely.
But mine
We could go both ways now.
Mine might have been triggered.
We could go both ways with this.
Yeah.
But do you have like one off the top of your head that's a trigger?
That's what I was saying. But I could spin it to make it be
right
positive.
Yeah.
But I have everybody has heart virtue, so I have respect is a big thing for me.
Okay.
So if someone's being disrespectful, it's a trigger, man.
I believe it. I can see that.
And not disrespectful. I'm trying to see the example of disrespectful.
Yeah, when it's true, genuine, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it may not even come, it's even to a point where it's not even directed towards you, right? When you see the disrespect.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Where at. It could be on the show.
Yeah.
You're and it just rubs me wrong.
Right.
Trigger.
Yeah.
But I was endeavoring to think of a specific instance, man. I mean, it could just be somebody you're at the grocery store and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're
something rub you the wrong way?
Or now the big thing is with those people shopping.
Oh.
Have you had
You talking about where they do the online shopping and then they got the people at the store getting it? Oh, yeah. No, you go to Walmart. That's one, we don't, I'll be honest with you, we don't grocery shop anymore. We order it.
Right.
And then we go pick it up.
Yeah.
Because when I go in there, Lee, when I go in there, if I've got
this is a trigger for you.
This is a trigger.
I thought it was a trigger for me.
When I go in there, and I'll usually, I don't like going in there on the big times. I'll go in there early.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere getting people's groceries.
They're everywhere, man.
And then they got all the aisles, the center line units with crates and stuff. It's you can't get them.
Yeah. So you're speaking from just the operation standpoint of okay, how does this work?
Yeah.
It's I can't get to my stuff, so it triggers you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking the person that's gathering your groceries. So now I know whose fault it is. Your groceries.
Your groceries. Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. You ordered it, and this person's trying to
be ordering their.
They're trying to get your groceries, and then they act like they have somewhere to be, they're not on the clock.
Yeah.
From 8 to 5.
Yeah.
So, and I might be wrong, but do you think that in this scenario, when they're picking up your groceries, Look, I keep doing that. That's fun. That's fun. So I'm trying to reach for like, oh, let me, and then they roll the cart right in front
Yeah,
of the,
and these carts are not like shopping carts. They're like big freaking
yeah,
dollies.
crates, with crates on it.
Like they block the whole aisle.
And it's like just the lack of consideration.
Yeah.
For the customer that's in the store.
I see your point exactly on that.
And like they just roll right up, and you're looking at the whatever to pick something out, and then they just pull the thing right in front of you, like, and you're looking like, man,
you know, that was like a moment. Was it yesterday?
Triggered, man. Do you say something?
It was a moment. No, it was Home Depot. I was at Home Depot, and I think they do it at Home Depot too. And she was like grabbing, and like I felt like I was in the way.
How do you feel like you're in the way when you're shopping?
And I'm like, I was like, okay, like because they were wanting to get the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, man, it's like.
But do you think it's just like, it's just our culture, and society? It's just.
It is. I mean,
because I try to think about it. It's okay if I was the person doing this. How would I interact with the customer? Would I just be like oblivious? Because you know some of these kids, especially, they got their AirPods in, their phones in their pocket. You know, they might as well have.
That's like a normal thing.
They might as well have virtual reality goggles on. You know, you're not even.
It's like a normal
I'm right
thing.
here, and I'm not a small guy. And I'm trying to get my items while they're shopping for your groceries. Yeah. And it's like, do you get paid by the order? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Do you get a... Now, I understand if you might be the person like the...
I would like to know.
If you're the third-party grocery delivery person, but we're not talking about the third-party grocery delivery person. We're talking about you go to the grocery store... And those people, that grocery store staff, is just oblivious.
It's like they're consumed with getting the orders.
But if they got a commission off every...
Oh, yeah. I get
it.
Yeah, I get it.
But that's not the
I don't think that's happening, though. I don't think that's happening. I really don't.
Yeah, so that's good that I was able to come up with that. Like,
that's a good one. Yeah.
But respect in like many forms. Like sometimes if I come up to the, like say for instance, and just see how this, like I remember one good when I was at the, like going to get my mom, like a headlight went out.
Oh, so you had to get the light?
Yeah, so I just went up and we've bought, like, you know, they could pull your number up.
You see
what part. Yeah. But anyway, I walk up to the thing and the guy doesn't say like, how may I help you? It's like, what do you need? Look at your face. So, I mean,
what did you say?
I mean,
I could just see your face. That's like poking the bear.
But you get it already, though.
That's right.
I mean, right?
I get it.
So you're like, I'm not even that guy. I'm really not. But I'm willing to be that guy. Yeah. So in this instance, like, what do you need? So if, you know, looking back, what I would have loved to say, like I've grown, is I would love to have been able to say, it's been some years. I would have loved to say, hey, what I need is for us to start over.
I would have loved to have seen his face because they probably wouldn't have even got it. I'd love for us to start over. It's like, what? What are you talking about? And then he'd probably say the same thing. What do you need?
What do you need? Like,
it's correct. Yeah, I can see it. That's a trigger.
Walk right up. What do you need? But he might have really thought he was trying to do good.
Right.
But it's like, at what point is that's real? And some of it you have to go from the cues.
But I think that's where the spirit comes in. Because, like, a lot of times we react because of that. We go from 1 to 10.
1,000.
And really, it's like the spirit's telling you, hey, this person may not be in that position right now. You may need to help him.
Right. Oh, I gotta help. I gotta help. That's the trigger.
That's
I
the
promise
trigger.
you, man.
That's the trigger. Because you could be in the spirit, and you could, like, your walk is there, and you get these triggers, and it's like, if you don't know how to handle your triggers, there's something going on.
So I said mine, and if you want me to go to the next thing the guy said, I will.
Yeah.
But so like mine's respect, like if anything that comes off, and it wasn't really like, what do you need? Because I'm in a part store, just tell them the part. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy, I'm not. But it's the nonverbal cues, body language, tonality.
Right.
That's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're not gonna just talk to me crazy. And this is not supposed to be a crazy interaction.
Nah, man.
And a lot of times people think like Lee, why are you so? Okay, have you ever been in a cell block?
Yeah.
With 200 people, and you trying to feed them something, and the interaction. So you like, okay, you went drastic. I'm like, so why do I feel like when I'm at the grocery store fighting the cart people, or I go to the auto parts store to get a part, like, I got treated better in the cell block.
Yeah. And then, that's a big one too, is the experience you get out of it.
It's like, I'm seeing the same kind of, if you want to say trigger, I'm seeing the same kind of body language, tonality. Like, I'm not, like, I'm talking, I just wanted the light bulb from my mom. Headlight for the car, man.
Right.
But you're saying the trigger to be able to stay present to when any type of thing like that happens, to not let it disrupt your equilibrium, and to be able to take that healthy pause to be like, okay. And we could joke when they said about, like, what would Jesus do? Like, you know how they said, like, in that movie?
Yeah.
Like, that cliche, like, oh.
Yeah, you could go that
from
route.
that movement. Like, what would he do in this? Mm-hmm. But sometimes, and I know Eric always kind of, like, laughs at me or maybe gets onto me. I'm like, okay. Do not think for 1 second that Jesus didn't turn over tables and put the money changers in their place.
He did it at the right time.
You know what I mean? So there is a time, like when you said, oh, he poked the bear. There is a time where you really have to be able to discern.
Right.
And let the Holy Spirit move to be able to, you have to work within your strength, your muscle of this to be like, okay, is this the time to call this person out on their crap?
Right. Or is it a humbling moment where it's like, okay.
Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's that person's problem. Get out of there.
Right.
Just do what you got to do to get out of there. Mm-hmm. Like, if we go back to the store, like, the kid has his AirPods in, he has his virtual reality goggles on. Like, I mean, he's shopping for items. You're going to say something to him, he's going to be like, AirPods, what, huh? So it's like, you change the 2-minute thing, just, I'm the kind of guy that I'll move the cart.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm the kind of guy like,
if I got to get something, I'm going to move.
He put the cart in the way, then I'll just move the cart. I'm like, sir, what are you doing? Like, you're in the way.
So what did the guy say after though?
Okay, so
I want to know.
Yeah, you're dying to know. He didn't get. I told you. Even if you could tell how these podcasts are going. It's been a few years. So the thought process, what do you need? And I still, like, if you would have been proud, because I still was like, I probably did that healthy pause, that whole thing, like, this guy ain't worth it type deal.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm here to get a headlight from him. And I knew we had just replaced the other one on the other side.
Man.
No, so that's not a problem. It's just to say,
you had it in the system. So
I wanted to be able to pull up.
Right.
To get the same one that we replaced the other one with, so the headlights match. Have you ever seen a car on the road when it's like,
if you don't get the right,
brighter than the other one, because you got two different brands.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, been here, we got a headlight. Told the make and model of the car. Told the name. Not finding it. That.
So he was just straight. Nah, not finding it.
Yeah. But kind of
And you
like,
just
you saw
staring
how I
at
just
you.
like played with the, like, not really tap it, just. So I'm like, okay, man. We just changed it. This is where we got it.
Uh-huh.
Like, what's the choices? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it was still the attitude. And then that's when, like, when I say 1 to 1,000, the
Yeah.
trigger tipped.
I bet it did, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I met him. And then now the other workers were like, oh, like coming over. Like, I met him. Like, I matched his energy and then took it up.
Ooh.
And it was, on the lines of, it was on the lines of like, man, what's your problem, man?
Yeah.
You know that.
Right. It's like, okay, you have a problem.
I heard this one time. They said, man, you pitched a tent. I'll bring the circus.
I've heard that one before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that
You
one.
pitch it, I'll bring the circus, man. Like, that's not, I'm just here to come on, give me the bulb, let me get out of here.
Right.
Like, you're not fine? Not fine. So when I bring the circus, the other people get involved. Oh, sir, what's the problem? Your employee's the problem.
Right.
I'm like, once I go there, I'm full-fledged, I'm full-fledged now. Like, he's the problem.
Yeah.
Now the manager, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Let me look for you. Let me take care of you, sir. Oh, here we are.
Yeah.
So I look back over him like,
yeah, that's where it's like,
oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so he was the problem.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about this, man?
Right.
Like, if your customer had to have this interaction to get a headlight, you're losing business.
Yeah.
I'm at this parts store. I'll go across the street to the other one. I mean,
Right.
but yeah, so the customer service thing is,
It's huge. But it is the respect part.
and sometimes but it's so crazy because we'll say certain things, man, that doesn't apply. Mm-mm. And what I mean by this is that, like, oh, how would you treat if your mother came in here? People
don't apply.
People treat their mothers bad, buddy.
Yeah.
How would you like to be treated? People don't love themselves and they treat themselves bad.
Yeah.
So that, if you say the golden rule, whatever, how would you want to be treated? People treat themselves bad.
Right. Yeah. I think that's where you're having the humility side is like you're meeting people where they're at. Because there's times where, like, the way I was brought up is different than the way kids these days are brought up.
Yeah.
So there's a dose of humility in it. But like you said, there's a point where, okay, you're getting triggered for something that may have happened in the past when you were a kid.
Right.
And that's the 0 to 100.
I mean,
you got to like sit there and be like, oh,
but
this is something.
Everybody doesn't miss the boat. And if we say kids or children, I'm not going to name the place, but the place, you're going to know the place. Mm-hmm. If we go to the place, sit down to eat, and then I say, hey, I'll take my lemonade, I want some more. Oh, no problem, sir. My pleasure.
Right.
That's them same kids, man.
Yeah.
That's them same young adults. They're just working in a different environment, working in a different culture.
Mm. Right.
The way you're saying is focus on the spirit.
Yeah.
So you mean tell me, like, okay, that's where you end up having to, like, if you're people like me, you got to call corporate. Mm-hmm. You say, hey, I was just in one of your stores. Y'all's customer service, y'all's culture, your company culture is suffering.
Yeah.
And you might want to bring me and my company in to do some leadership training, some customer service training, because y'all are suffering. Mm-hmm. And you think it doesn't matter. But if I have a better experience across the street at the other parts store,
right,
where you go? Because even if you say, like, oh, man, I'm going to get a sandwich from this place. It's my pleasure for them to come get this sandwich to give you, right? Mm-hmm. Is the sandwich better than the place across the street.
Maybe, maybe not.
That's up to interpretation or perspective. But if you go in, the place is clean. It's my pleasure.
The atmosphere, it's an atmosphere that you want to be in. Yeah.
The same way you said, like, man, I'm not even going to the store.
Right.
I'm not even going.
Right.
Like the atmosphere is chaotic. I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna order my stuff like everybody else.
Right.
And let the people that's ridiculous still go there and fight the cart people.
Right.
And get triggered.
Yeah.
Or do you think that that's a possibility of like, because I heard it one time, Rabbi said, man, y'all are going to the grocery store doing the self-checkout lane?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all are ridiculous. Like, y'all don't work for the store.
They've
got the conveyor belt lines now.
Yeah, man.
Self-checkout line. The conveyor ones.
No, there's one.
Like you can do the full cart of stuff. Not a few items. Like
there's
full cart.
I've been to a Walmart, Lee, where they had more self-checkouts than regular cashiers.
Right. But all I'm saying now is the reason I'm tying that in is because we know certain things are going to be ushered in.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point because of the choices we make, it's allowed?
Yeah.
So the same way the guy at first I was just going to be like, I'll keep playing the game. Let me just say what I need to say to get the headlamp. But then I told you I met him and raised it.
Yeah.
But what's the problem? You're the problem. You know what I'm saying? But me trying to tie it in now to say we go to the store and because we want to cut a few minutes off, we go to the self-checkout. Where that's taking people's jobs, where that's the human interaction, and like all the stuff is just, and it's like you're feeding into it. Some of the stuff that shouldn't be.
It's like this. Like there's no human.
Do y'all buy like produce?
No, we'll just buy the simple stuff.
Yeah. Because
like the produce stuff. Yeah, we'll go to certain places to get the produce stuff.
Yeah.
But not like everything. Because that's another trigger.
You're getting the old.
That's another trigger.
You're getting the moldies.
We did it one time. Fast. I think we ordered it one time. I think it might have been apples or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way we would get this is ridiculous.
They're not even looking at it.
They're just grabbing it. You could just see it from just looking at what you got.
Yeah.
They just grab it.
Yeah. If you order canned good, man, like, okay, the person I'll give you the dented can. And what's so sad is that I say that. I'm saying I'll give you the dented can. But if we have to say, like, okay, if we're running a business, do you think there's certain people that's in management and be like, oh, yeah, just give them the dented one?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying this to say, like, I'm incriminating myself, but literally think about it from the business standpoint to say, okay, hey, I got to take this can and I've got to damage it out or I've got to discount it. Or do I try to pass it off on the person that's ordering?
Right.
And they want to be inconvenienced, like, oh, well, it's too much trouble.
Right.
Or that people don't like confrontation to be like, okay, hey, I just ordered apples, man.
Mm-hmm.
A bag of apples. There's 6 apples in the bag and 4 rotten. What is your picker doing? Or do you just take the loss?
Do you take the loss?
My mom's never taken the loss.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
We weren't raised like she's going right up there like, hey, look.
It's like, look at this.
Bought 6 apples before it's spoiled. What y'all going to do?
Right.
But everybody's like, oh, it's just a dinner can. We'll deal with it. So then it's like, that ends up being something that's created that for our brands, you start accepting mediocrity.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the box of cereal I got the box is crushed. Like,
right.
It's like, okay. The flakes are still
it's
still inside the bag.
It's inside the bag. It's just a box. It's the outside.
Yeah. It's like.
Yeah.
Because I've got a few things from ordered online. I'm like, how it shows up. I'm very particular about this. That's probably a trigger too, because it's funny. But I'm like, if I was in the store, I would never have purchased that one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm telling you?
Right. You would never, because,
Like if you go to the Barnes and Noble, whatever, you get a book.
Yeah.
It's like us, just a little tear, or it's a little indentation on the cover of the book. You don't take that one.
No.
But that's the one they send you when you order it online.
Yeah.
What do you do? But hey, man, book showed up.
Didn't.
Like I would never have bought that in the store like that.
Yeah.
And then you send it out. But the next thing is AirPod, virtual reality goggles. Were they oblivious? They just was like, oh yeah, you need this book.
Just grab it.
Or did they pick it up like you would at the store and be like,
look at it. Like, okay. Hey, look at the expiration date. Make sure it's like, some people do that too.
man, you're at the donation center and you're looking like, and it's highlighted, man. I thought it's a new book. It's used.
Right.
Trigger, man.
Triggers.
But what's one, like, not that I said.
I would say
that you
mine.
agreed
I
with.
could
What's
probably
your
go
trigger?
opposite. I could probably go a little opposite from you.
Yeah, I want to, man. I want to
Because mine's probably not going that route.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you didn't take that route of where you should have spoke up. But so it's an internal thing. You're holding it internally. And another way I could put it is like, in a sense, when you have the trigger, so you do feel the emotion, like what you feel. We poked the bear. I felt the emotion.
The bear's been poked, buddy.
You poked the bear with me, but I didn't say anything. But inside, boy, I mean, I could tell you some stories where, like, if they got my order wrong going through the drive-thru, I mean, this happened yesterday.
Oh, wow. What
And it was like domino after domino. And it just started like, and it got to a point where, like, first off, the drinks were totally wrong.
You didn't say anything?
Well, I did say something.
Oh, you did say something. But it was already
I was in the drive-thru. I got out of my car in the drive-thru and walked back and said, "Hey, these drinks are not right."
You're talking about me.
And I showed them a receipt. I was like, "This is not right. It should have been this, and this."
Right.
Didn't get fixed. Walk back to the car. They give me the right drinks, and then I get told, "Oh, they didn't give us their sauces." Oh no, I ordered the mac and cheese and not the fries or whatever.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, I'm not sitting in the drive-thru. I pull around and I walk in. I'm like, this stuff ain't right.
Wow.
But that is an uncomfortable zone for me.
Oh,
but
really?
when you push me to that level,
So
I'll
you,
go
like,
to that level.
what pushed you? Because you didn't want to just tell them, like, just deal with it.
Well, part of it
Tell
was
the kids, just deal
part
with
of it. Well, that's me. I would have dealt with it. I'd been like, oh, that's okay. It's okay.
But they were holding you.
That's not right.
They were
Like,
holding
you just, I mean, you talked about it just now. Like, you hold yourself to a standard.
Yeah.
Not to say you can't hold other people to that standard,
Right.
but you have to let them know what your standard is.
Right.
And it's not coming from a mean place.
I mean, you just want what you
It's
ordered.
just, I ordered this and I didn't get this. Like,
What? So let me ask you this: did you think about sending the kids in?
no. I was like, no, I'll handle
No,
it.
I'm saying. So you never thought, like, okay, go tell them that you're. What was
Well, yeah, if it was something, yeah, if that was, I would have done that.
I'm saying before over you be dealing in the uncomfortability.
Oh no, I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Not with the kids, I wouldn't have done
I was just trying to see the level of.
that. No, I wouldn't have pushed it off on somebody.
Yeah.
No, I would took ownership of it because
Instead of burying it,
yeah,
you would have.
and that's the thing. You don't want to bury that stuff. Like, that's the whole point of the trigger. The trigger is
So
to
what
get
they
you
end up
closer.
doing?
They fixed it.
Yeah.
They got it fixed.
Now, would you ever be like, "Hey, man, can I get an extra cookie or something?" Because
I might have pushed it. That probably wouldn't have been me.
can I get? I mean,
I just want my order right.
I had to get out of my car
Yeah.
Come in here.
And
Is there any way I can get a milkshake for my trouble? I mean, I just want to see if you're like, to what level you would have to.
It depends. If it's a point where I'm abusing it, I wouldn't do it.
But would you be willing just to stretch?
I would, yeah. If it was to a point where I was like, this is ridiculous.
No, this is just to stretch your being uncomfortable.
I would.
To just be like, this ain't right. I don't like this interaction, but I'm going to just be like, and not attached. You're not attached to it. This is just for your growth. Right. To be like,
yes.
While I've been sitting here, I mean, even if it, while I've been sitting here
waiting,
I
was like, could have been like,
I drank my whole drink. I need a refill.
Right. I could have been like, hey, I was in this drive-thru. First, they didn't get my drinks right. Then they didn't give me my sauces. Can we get some incentive out of that? Like I'm having to park and come in because you guys have got all this construction stuff going on.
Oh, wow.
All this traffic through the drive-thru.
Wow.
I mean, you could, but and to a point, I don't want to abuse that.
Watch this.
But I don't want to abuse it.
What if the person was like, what if they treated you like that? I just want to really see you right now. I just want to see. If you go in there and talk to them, and be like, man, you saw we were under construction when you came in here. When you pulled up.
That's a turn away. That's a turn away right there. I'm like, okay.
You would turn away?
I would not interact with that. I would not interact with that. Because it probably wouldn't get, it wouldn't be a good interaction with that one.
But, like, okay, so that's good. So we could, like...
Because I'm not a conflict person.
We can flush this out just a little bit more. So you go in, and you're like, hey, can I get a... whatever, like... Can you refill my lemonade while I'm sitting rating because I've drunk it?
Yeah.
While you've been getting this stuff, and they're like, they had an attitude.
Oh, I would have responded to that.
And they literally said like, they said the construction thing, and then you're like, the construction thing that I told you, like,
yeah,
man, you see we're under construction, we ain't got time for all that.
Oh, I'd go to the manager. I would go to the manager on that one. Because it's like the construction thing is not interfering with what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
That's just fixing the outside exterior stuff.
Right. Yeah. I was just trying to see.
Yeah. No, that would, yeah. But for me, it would be.
You go to the manager.
Yeah,
so you wouldn't you wouldn't rip their head off and put them in their place.
No.
You would talk to the manager.
Because the thing for me is, like, I believe, like, the people you put in place to do these jobs, as a manager,
that's a reflection of you.
That's a reflection of your management.
Yeah.
And that's who I would go with. Now, if the manager is at a point where it's like you can't do it, well, then that, like you said, that's corporate, whatever. Like, you're going, that needs to be talked about. But I've never been to an I'm probably sure you have, but
how many times do you think people just, like, they get mistreated?
All the time.
And they just...
All the time.
And that's what...
And that's what it is.
So that's why I said that, like... Because me and Erica talk about it all the time, I promise you. Because she'd be like, Lee, why do you always have to be the one?
Why you always got to be the one?
And sometimes I really say, like... Well, y'all think I'm wild, but I promise you I'm not. But why do I always have to be the one? It's like, I literally say, somebody's got to do it. Like, somebody has to.
Well, and you're right, because you're not coming. You're not people coming from a bad place. It's not like
you're just letting people run over you.
Yeah.
Consistently, and nobody says nothing, and they just accept it.
Yeah.
So they're oblivious to this even a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Sometimes their tables need to be turned over, man.
Right. I mean, and that. From the aspect of, like, the triggers and, like, these are moments where you can get into your spirit. Like, that's, even when you've done something and it may not have been the right thing, the spirit is still acting on that. And it's like, okay, well, what happened here?
Yeah.
And if you're in it, like, you're going to know.
And that's good, because you, like, to make sure, because I don't want to go in place turn tables over. You got to be able to do it in love.
Exactly.
So you get triggered. Are you still able to be in conditional love to love your neighbor, love your brother, sister. And then me being silly, like the joker side of it is, especially if we do the headlight guy, me matching the energy and then taking a step above. In my view, that is love.
Yeah. Discipline and conflict can be love.
Yeah,
it can be.
Because, I mean, to say you calling somebody out and the uncomfortability in that is you rebuking the other spirit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they're like, that's not going to be comfortable. That's not going to be, even though it should, the more you.
Yeah.
But it's, does your blood pressure raise in doing it? So if you're able to be like, hey, man, like if I'm like, hey, man, why are you handling me like that, man? Like.
No blood pressure rising, no nothing.
You know, and I'm not saying I did that. But, hey, man, why are you handling me like that, man? Like, you having a bad day? Like,
right.
I don't have nothing to do with that. Can you just help me get the... I'm just trying to take care of my mom's car.
That's another level to it right there.
Right there. And then, but if you match it with that energy, he's like, oh, man. This is a good guy.
I'd have messed up.
I done treated him wrong.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
And he told me that. Like, he was smart enough to tell me, like,
right.
I don't want nothing to do with that, man.
Yep.
Like, you were on the wrong side of the bed. Like, I just want to take care of my mom's car, man. Trying to help her. Help me help her, man.
Yeah. That's the other level to it, man.
Or you put the coaching hat on, man.
Oh,
get the young kids, say, hey, come here. You know, tell them take the goggles off. I'm driving that point home because, I mean, these kids, man, space age. But anyway, space age. To be like,
it's a lot.
So you can make it a teaching moment. Like, that's a big cart, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're coming down the aisles, like, you think you're just an 18-wheeler on the highway, bigger bully, like, you can just get over and I just have to move because I get it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you get paid by the hour, not by the order.
Mm-hmm. True.
Like, if you see a customer trying to get, like, let them get that thing before you bogart them. And some of them, they might talk crazy, talk smart.
Oh, you're always going to get a few like that, yeah.
But some of them might be like, man, he took the time, he's trying to tell me.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Yeah. So that's, I think, the trigger. You want to be triggered to get in the spirit and to really be able to be what you can be and not match like, I'll just push the cart over.
Right. It's coming from a place of love. I like how you put that.
Yeah,
like you got to come from a place of love when you're dealing with that kind of stuff. The triggers. And I think the spirit allows you to do that. So. Yeah, man. Loved it.
Loved it. Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.